So this is what it looks like on test reach, this question. So I'm just going to highlight those bits which I highlighted earlier, the 12 hours using the highlight function, the 75, which is the learning rate, and the cost per hour, which is 15. I'm using the online calculator here because it's just simpler for me. I could pull up my other one, but in case you have to use it, I'm just making sure you can see how it works on this. And I'm also using the scratch pad. Remember, it says in relation to the luxury car seat, what's the labour cost of the 8th unit? Now, remember, we can't use the learning formula and just find out from the 8th batch or 8th unit, because that's the average. We need to actually find the 8th unit. So we need to find the 8th cumulative, take off the 7 cumulative, as we did before. So the first one is to find the cumulative for 8. So I'm typing that in my scratch pad. And you can go and check your formula from your formula sheet. Here's your formula sheet. And there's your learning curve formula to remind yourself of what you need. So you need A, which is the time taken for the first unit, which is there, 12. And you need X, which is the cumulative number of units produced, which is the 8. And then you need the index of learning, which is the log LR over the log 2. We're using LR is 0.75. Excellent. So you can see y equals ax to the b. I'm just going to type that in there. 12 is the a. And I'm going to times that by, just to get myself settled and know that what I'm doing, the 8. And then I'm just going to go to the log. So I'm not going to type it all every time, but I'm just showing you what you can do, divided by log 2. Now that will give you the average time for 8. Remember, that's the average time for 8. So therefore, you then have to multiply that by 8. In your calculator, this is how you would do it. You 12 times by 8. And on this calculator, the little hat is there to do it to the power of. And then you go for log 0.75, close the bracket, divide by log 2, close the bracket. And then it gives you 5.0625. Then we're going to times it by 8. So 5.0625, and then we're going to times that by 8. And that gives you 40.5. So that's the cumulative for 8. We now need the cumulative for 7 to take off to get the 8th one. So the cumulative for 7 is going to be replacing that 8 with a 7. So I'm going to do 12 times 7 now to the little hat, log 0.75 divided by log 2, close bracket. And that is 5.35, and then I'm going to times that by 7. So that gives me 37.456. Now I can keep that in my calculator because I have to do 40.5 minus 37.456. So why don't I just do the minus of it as a quicker way of getting to that result? And that means the result is 3.043. Now, hours. We've not been asked for hours, we've been asked for cost, but guess what's there? 3.04. Can you see? There's your red herring. There's your one that you could pick if you hadn't realised that you've now got to times it by the 15. So we now have to times it by the 15, and it gives us 45. Gives us 45.645. So 646. So therefore, it's rounded up to 45.65. So there you have it. Being able to do that on your calculator and your scratch pad, showing you how to do learning curves, because I know people struggle with that.